gavel to the class of 2016. And now will be sharing her history of her class. Please give her a warm welcome, Ms. Erin Baumgartner.
Family members, respected faculty and administration, future seniors of FHS, and graduating class of 2015, good morning. I had always thought that when we walked out on that Thursday morning to school, it would be our last time here, but I guess they missed us a little too much. Every moment leading up till now, during these last 4 years, can be described by famous rapper and thoughtful poet, Drake. He once said, "We made it." And yes, fellow graduates, we certainly have. Every action, every decision, and every moment has led up till now, when we put on caps and gowns for the first time, stand before our loved ones, and finally say goodbye to the place where we learned so much about who we are. As our high school career ends, it's time to look back at all those decisions we made, making even better memories along the way. I remember coming into the doors of Farmington High, scrambling to find my locker, not knowing that those are virtually impossible to use and let alone find. We hid from the seniors that looked like grown adults in fear of the non-existent Freshman Friday, and suddenly we were back at the bottom of the food chain. Freshman year was filled with a lot of firsts, such as the first time swimming was done in school and all the lovely pressures that went along with that. It was the first time we had the opportunity to join clubs and actually meet many people with the same interests as us. For many of us, it was our first time playing new sports, and for all of us, playing them at a high school level. Never forgetting freshman baseball stealing the show with an astonishing record of 0-28 that season. It was the first time we had ever experienced Spirit Week, homecoming games, homecoming dance, and the first time we could document all these events with the new and upcoming app, Twitter. By the time sophomore year rolled around, we were all getting pretty good at this whole high school thing. Not really at the bottom anymore, still not an upperclassman, but definitely happy to be out of the 9th grade. Sophomore year opened up our eyes to some of the pains and joys that went hand in hand with getting older. We were all ecstatic about getting our driver's permits and licenses, but that also meant we were thrown into the war zone we call a parking lot. I think my all-time favorite memory comes from sophomore year at the pep assembly. Mr. McGregor came around with his spirit stick, tried his best, but we all stood there screaming, forgetting the chant, making an absolute fool out of ourselves. But hey, at least we weren't freshmen anymore, right? With sophomore year came the ability to join even more clubs, such as DECA, BPA, and HOSA, try out and earn amazing spots with the JV and varsity sports teams, and prove ourselves with leading roles in the school musical Beauty and the Beast. Junior year soon followed, and in the blink of an eye, we were upperclassmen. Junior year was really the year when we figured out where we belong, for what we like to do, who was a true friend, and what we want to do with the rest of our lives. We began talking about college and careers, and started to question the value of the Pythagorean theorem as we ventured into the real world of jobs, not knowing what the heck we were doing. And junior year was the year of the test, the ACT. Now knowing it's not as scary as it was seemed to be, just a few hundred bubbles. That year, we girls won our first victory in the Powder Puff game, with a soon-to-be second victory a year later. And speaking of victories, in our junior year, history was made as the hockey team took home the state championship. It was a year of triumphs, whether it be the ACT, Powder Puff, Hockey State Championship, or just having a better grasp of who we are. 2014 was the setting stage for the final and best part of our high school journey, senior year. Well, the year finally came, the year we've been all waiting for since we walked in as freshmen on that first day of school. With the start of senior year came the senior section of the home football games, cheering louder than before and finally being able to claim something as ours, and able to yell at juniors to get out of the senior section. For the first time, it was us who made up the F7. It was us who led and entertained the crowd with lead roles in the marching band. The next thing we quickly dominated was the senior wall. Odd and kind of awkward at first, but soon it really did feel like ours. We grew closer and closer as a class and were motivated to be something Farmington had never seen before. Senior year was about putting aside those differences within ourselves that we spent the last 3 years discovering to become something much more powerful than individuals. We became the senior class of 2015. Once college acceptance letters began going around, the term senioritis finally made sense, and so did the term third try, don't try. Our bond as a class continued as we nicely decorated the school for everybody on our last day, and when we all became American snipers during water wars. It was a year of building relationships, just as Dr. Kaminsky told us. During all 4 years, we built relationships with one another, with past graduates, with faculty and administration. We became something quite different than years before, because we are different. We are the first class to have undergone the combination of the district's middle schools, giving us an extra year to deepen those relationships. Famous author J.K. Rowling once said, "It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might not have lived at all, in which case you failed by default." She is correct. The truth of the matter is, we all have to make mistakes in order to grow wiser, in order to learn. And when we do fall, when we do make those mistakes, we learn the true value of these relationships. We lean on the ones who are most familiar, the ones we've grown up with. We lean on the ones who have helped us discover who we are. We lean on the ones sitting right here in this auditorium. This is our home. These are our people. If you take nothing away from what I've said, please remember this. No matter where you go, where you came from, life is a journey, one in which you can't see the outcome. Live in the moment, but always remember your roots here at Baumgartner High School. Before we go, before I'm done standing before you, I would like to say that I've had an amazing time serving as your board president this year and your vice president for the past 3 years. And while it breaks my heart to leave, I know the school will be in amazing hands of our new president next year. Thank you.
See, this part's not part of my program, but I got to hear her yesterday, and I cried. So I promised that I wouldn't do it today, but only a little bit. This is a quick message to our parents and to the family